welcome back to A Week Around the Nest, episode 6. I'm your host, Sam Montag. Well, the Hawks have continued to struggle throughout the month of July with only 5 wins. However, there have been some glimmers of hope. One of those glimmers was a big win against the Bourne Braves on Friday night, in which the Hawks walked away with a 12-0 win against the Braves in just 7 innings. The Hawks were led that night by Dayton LaChance, the power-hitting righty who went 4 for 4 from the plate with 3 doubles and 3 RBIs. Graham Nash caught up with the catcher/DH in this week's episode of A Hawks View.
Graham Nash here with Dayton LaChance. Dayton, you had a great performance yesterday. Really hot from start to finish. What do you feel like was working well for you at the plate?
I just kept things simple at the plate, and I guess it just worked out for me yesterday.
In that fourth inning, 9 runs. The whole team was on fire. What do you think they did well against the pitching?
Honestly, the last few games we've been unlucky in this situation, and I guess yesterday everything was just working out, so it was just good to get on a roll.
How do you feel like you can carry this hitting momentum forward going through the rest of the season?
I guess we played so much baseball at this time of the year that we just gotta see ball, hit ball, and things gonna work out for us.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Graham. The bats really caught fire on Friday night against Bourne, and the Hawks will be looking to continue that momentum as they enter into the latest stage of this season. With the season coming to a close, the Hawks are in a race against Falmouth to secure the last place in playoffs, with hopes of returning once again to the playoff picture. We caught up with Coach Cogliano this week to ask him more about how the coaches motivate the players into these later stages of the season and how the team as a whole comes together as they look to fight for another playoff spot.
Thank you, Sam. Back for catching up with Cogliano, Giovanni Collada, and bench coach Rich Cogliano. Coach, very happy to have you here for week 6 of Best of the Nest. And how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. I just got done hitting fungos, and I must say I got some very good reviews from the infielders. They said that I'm much better than the other coaches. The other coaches are terrible, they said.
What makes your fungo hitting so good?
Well, I try to keep it at them, try not to work them too hard before the game. I like to call it room service, so they all get it.
I did hear you say that you want your guys to be prepared for 2 balls to come at them in the middle of a game. Can you explain a situation where that would ever happen?
Sure. So what I do, most fungo hitters, they wait until the batter hits, and then they hit. I like to hit at the same time as whoever's in the turtle. That way there's a chance they get 2 balls coming at them, and they have to learn how to decide which ball is the real one. What if they're at second base in a big game and someone throws a ball out of the stands at them? They have to know pretty quick which one's the real ball and which one's the ball from the stands. They're going to make it, that could cost them the game. So I think it's important to practice that.
You keep them on their toes. And one thing that stands out as we enter the final 10 games of the Cape Cod Baseball League summer is that we're past evacuation day. We're past the aftermath of the All-Star break where a lot of rosters are pretty much set in stone for what they're going to be for the final stretch of the season. But what's the challenge for you as coaches with the mental aspect of this final stretch of the year?
You have to keep them loose. They're all tired at this point. Even the guys who just got here, they've all played 50-something game regular seasons plus wherever they were playing in summer ball. So you have to keep them into the game. You have to keep their heads in it, make sure their cars aren't packed in the parking lot here ready to go after the game. I'll drive to Alabama, wherever they're from. But, that's it. Psychologically, you have to want to win these games. You have to want to keep your head in it and do well. Otherwise, you end up it's the team, this league. One thing I've seen the last 2 years is the team with the most people with their heads in it at the end is going to win it. Harwich won it last year. We beat them 5 times or whatever it was last year. I forgot they were in the league, and they come and win it. That's what I'm saying. It's a team that's in it at the end, that their heads are in it, that's going to win it.
They didn't win a game for a very long stretch of the regular season last year, and that just goes to show you what sorts of things can turn around. Hyannis itself had a difficult month to the start to the month of July. So what does it say about Hyannis that Harwich can have that kind of success last year after a very difficult patch?
Well, I think Mitch was telling me earlier while we were watering the field for way too long that it's the 4 seeds have won like the last couple championships, or 3 or 4 or some ridiculous record. But yeah, again, just goes to show you, if you have the players with their heads in it at the end, you learn from what Harwich did last year. Anyone can win it. So like baseball, any given day.
There's a lot of parity at this point in the summer. Coach, that's going to do it for us here on Catching Up with Cogliano.
Want me to explain my fungo technique to you?
I sure do.
For your listeners, in case anyone's out there that wants to hit fungos. Basically, what I like to do, pull this back a little bit. What I like to do is toss a ball in the air. I like to put everything I got into it and kind of hit it right towards again, at the same time that the turtle guy's hitting, make 2 balls go at them at the same time. Then again, they get a little nervous, but they make the right decision generally. So what I like to do to repeat, I like to get it, boom, hit it, and then, at the least opportune time.
Maybe we should add a name to this segment, Catching Up with Cogliano to Class Time with Cogliano. What do you think about that?
I could do a special segment with that just talks about technique. Hold on a second. I got Sean. Sean, come here. I got to talk to Sean. Come on in. We're being interviewed. This is the weekly show, Catching Up with Cogliano.
What's going on?
So Sean is a very good, we're doing a little clinic on fungos. Sean's a very good fungo hitter. Yep. What I was saying was I like to hit at the same time as the batter does, so they have 2 balls coming at it. Is that what you do?
I throw it up. Yep. As soon as they hit it, I hit it at the same time. Same thing.
Because you never know in a game when 2 balls are going to come at you.
100%.
Exactly.
You got to be ready to go, right?
You guys do
We haven't done with Coach Riley yet, but we will definitely do that with some technique lessons upcoming. Coach, thanks for your time.
All right, but before we go, I want to say this to you, to the people out there in Harbor Hawk land. You got to get behind us. It's a very intense stretch here. Important games every night. And I think we're giving away $1 million cash to some lucky fan. So it's a reason to come out. Buy your tickets.
We're going to have to check that, but final 10 games of the Cape Cod Baseball League season.
Don't check it.
Don't check it. Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Gio. And thank you, Coach Cogliano, on that very detailed description on how you get our players ready for the games each and every day. That method must be working because we had some phenomenal plays throughout the week. Graham Nash and Gio Collada have more in this week's edition of Best of the Nest.
Welcome back to Best of the Nest. I'm Graham Nash alongside Giovanni Collada. And while Hyannis didn't get a lot of good results this week, there were still a lot of good plays.
There sure were. Let's start on the defensive side. Jeff Luigi, maybe a loss to Katuitt for Hyannis, but he made his mark on this game. 2 outs, bottom 3 with a man on base at Lowell Park the other day. Carson Yassa trying to escape the inning. Who does he call on for help? Jeff Luigi. Another sliding grab. This time it comes in left field. The Duke Blue Devil ends the frame with no more runs for Katuitt. Hyannis did go on to lose that game 11-0, but Jeff Luigi gave Carson Yassa a big help there.
He really did. We've got some more defense for you in our second best play of the week. This is a culmination of a couple plays from when Tyler August, the All-Star for Hyannis. Top of the first inning against Harwich, this actually starts with a not highlight. Dropped third strike, Brody Briggs can't get to this baseball, so the runner is safe over at first. No out, but it is a strikeout for Tyler August. 1 batter later, he's trying to lock back in. 1-2 count, boom, pinpointed. Strike 3, 1 batter retired, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Another batter later, boom, pinpointed. Strike 3. All of a sudden, things are getting weird. We're at 3 strikeouts, 2 outs in the inning. Only 97 people in Major League Baseball have recorded a 4 strikeout inning. What does Tyler August do? Boom! Pinpoint. Strike 3. End the inning. Tyler August gets the Harbor Hawks off to a good start. A little history there, Gio, but like the last highlight that we saw from Jeff Luigi, Hyannis went on to lose that game.
Well, I wish there was a sound during the game that went boom, pinpoint, strike 3 at Hyannis games. Maybe that would conjure up some more wins here in McKeon Park, but an offensive highlight coming up next as Dayton LaChance made his mark last night. Bottom of the 4th, Hyannis has already tagged 6 runs in this frame. Bases are still loaded with 2 outs for Dayton LaChance, who takes the breaking ball down the third base line. He had himself a night, and this got Hyannis to 10 runs on the game as Jake Schaffner scores all the way from first base, no doubt on the way from Mitch Carricker at third, and Dayton LaChance turns in his best outing as a Harbor Hawk with this cool piece of hitting. That double, one of 3 on the night for the incoming Oklahoma Sooner Dayton LaChance to go along with a single, and by far his best outing of the summer in Hyannis' run rule win.
Yeah, it really was, and a great way to end a pretty tough week for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They got now a little bit of momentum heading into the last couple games of the regular season. Speaking of which, this is the second to last show of the regular season. Hopefully a little bit more that we can do in the postseason. But for now, that is going to end this week's episode of Best in the Nest. My partner, Giovanni Collada. I'm Graham Nash. We'll send it back to Sam Montag at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Well, as you mentioned, the pitching was dominant at times during this week, with Tyler August's 4 strikeout inning, as well as Max Stammel's outing against the Bourne Braves. However, the Hawks still continued to struggle with the free passes, giving up 9 walks against Brewster, as well as struggling in the field a little bit. Gio Collada has a little bit more on the pitching, specifically on the bullpen.
Thank you, Sam. This month has been tumultuous for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, a 5-12-2 record coming into the game against Chatham. But make no mistake that the pitching has experienced a very odd month at that. It's the worst bullpen ERA in the Cape League at 5.60, but Hyannis boasts the second best ERA amongst its starters, trailing only Harwich with an ERA of 3.25. The odd thing about that, though, Sam, is that the bullpen still leads the Cape League in strikeouts with 187. Of course, the Harbor Hawks have struck out a lot of batters throughout the entire season, but make no mistake that recently that has not been the case, and the bullpen still leads the league in that category. In each of the last 5 games, there have not been more than 4 strikeouts past the 4th inning for this bullpen. Meanwhile, Sam, the first 4 innings have had all more than 4 strikeouts in each of the last 5 games. So as Hyannis comes into a critical week with the playoffs maybe hanging in the balance, it needs to begin striking out batters in the later innings. Back to you.
Thanks, Gio. Well, while the pitching and batting alike look to get back into their best form before the postseason, McKeon Park is already there. With Intern Appreciation Night on Friday and Christmas in July on Saturday, McKeon Park is better than ever right now, and it's thanks to the fans that we are ready to go as we look to make a run for the postseason. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode of A Week Around the Nest. I'm Sam Montag, I've been your host, and we'll see you next week.